So I just wanted to thank you all for being here today. And most importantly, I'd like to thank Jyoti Singhi for being here. So glad that she could join us for this lovely July afternoon or morning, wherever you may be, evening. So we were introduced a couple months back through a colleague, and Jyoti has been a speaker for 30 plus years. She is the CEO of the ACE Group, an ed tech firm, and they train executives and professionals in presentation, interpersonal skills, and communication, public speaking. She's interviewed and hosted many executives, CEOs, chairmen of Fortune 500 companies. She's also founded a luxury company which sells Neiman Marcus. And Jyoti has extensive corporate experience at Cartier, IBM, KPMG, consulting and marketing, CRM, e-commerce, business development, and strategic partnerships. She has earned degrees from Harvard and MIT, and she's a classically trained dancer. In her free time, she loves to perform and choreograph, and she also loves to paint and write poetry. Right now, she's dreaming up her next vacation when the world opens up again. And I am definitely doing the same thing, Jyoti. So without further ado, I will hand it over to you.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. Thank you very much for inviting me to speak. Actually, we met at through my last, one of my last previous talks at Harvard. And that's how you and I connected. And it's so nice to be here. I see amazing vacation picture in the back, you know, there.
Yeah, that's true.
And I wanted to do a special thanks to Stephanie Landers and also to Gina, who have been amazing hosts and have organized this event for all of us. So thank you so much. Yay.
Thank you for being here.
Yes, absolutely. Welcome, everybody. I want to make this an interactive conversation. So I invite you to come back on your cameras, even if you are eating lunch or dinner, or I know there are some international people here. So what our breakfast, maybe you're on the West Coast, I don't know where you are. Please open up your cameras, Princeton students and non-students. It would be really nice to see all your faces. That's when I would know that I'm not talking to some blank walls. It makes my job easier as a speaker. So until I see all of you guys turning on your cameras, I can't go any further. So today's conversation is going to be about pitch your venture like a pro. You may have a venture, you may not have a venture, you may be an entrepreneur, an intrapreneur, a business person, a professional, anything, but we're always pitching, right? We are trying to sell something, either our product or our offering or our ideas, or sometimes ourselves. A lot of us are in job transitions or career transitions right now, so we might be pitching that. While today's conversation is going to be tailored to ventures, but whatever we talk about can be applied to a lot of other things that are applicable in your life or going on in your life. I'm going to turn down my light a little bit. I think that's a little better. Okay, wonderful. Ready to rock and roll, people? Yes? Give me a big thumbs up. Make it dance. All right. All right, so this is what we're going to cover. The key elements of a pitch, pro tips for a great presentation, making an impact virtually in the virtual world because things have changed quite a bit. We all are kind of used to giving presentations in the real world when we're in a room or a boardroom or on stage. But what do we do now? And we're going to have Q&A in the end. And don't leave. I do have a free gift for you. So don't leave. It's going to come towards the end. All right. Also, while we're going to, when we talk about pitch, it seems like that it's, like a presentation style, but sometimes a pitch could also be one-on-one. It could be one to a few. So we're going to cover presentation, a little bit of public speaking, and also interpersonal conversations. So that's what it's going to be. So I invite you to be creative. I invite you to apply different things to different scenarios wherever they apply, because in the interest of time, I'll probably be only able to give 1 or 2 examples for anything. And if you have questions, I'm around here. I'm not going anywhere. And you have my email address too. I think earlier I shared it. I shall share it later. All right. All right. So you're going to pitch to, or you have been pitching to, a lot of different types of people, investors, maybe one-on-one investors, specific, you took an appointment and you're pitching to an investor. You are at a pitch event and you're pitching to multiple investors. Networking events, we're constantly pitching and meeting and greeting at networking events, and it doesn't normally feel like pitching, but you know, you're kind of pitching yourself or your idea or your business at networking events. That's where we go there. We go there for free alcohol and free food, and then to pitch, right? All right, board members, mentors, right? Those are very important parts of our venture or even our lives. We should have mentors and board members, potential clients all the time, especially if you are in the business world, and I'm assuming a lot of you guys are here, potential clients, potential patients, and teammates. You have to pitch your ideas to teammates. You have to get new teammates. You have to hire employees, etc., etc. So you will be pitching to a lot of different people, and depending upon who you pitch to, your messaging is going to change. Ooh, audience, okay? So the most important thing in terms of pitching or presentation or speaking or communication is what? Who? Actually, who? It's your audience. You got to really understand who your audience is and tailor your message to your audience. A lot of times, we just go into a presentation or a conversation thinking about, oh, it's me, myself, and I, my business, my idea, my offer, etc., and I'm going to present it in the best way. But we forget, who is my audience? What's in it for them? Why do they care about it? Or how do I turn it around so that I can present it in a way that it is important to them? We're going to talk a little bit more about the audience in a little bit. So as I mentioned earlier, that we're going to be talking about pitching to the investor, because this conversation has been sponsored by Princeton Keller Center, which is the entrepreneurship accelerator at Princeton University. And we are here actually for the benefit of the ventures that the Keller Center at Princeton is working with. So we're going to work from the point of view of pitching to the investor. But again, I invite you to take it in any direction that is appropriate for you. I also want to introduce the teams to you. So as I say the team name, if if everybody in the team can wave to us. Sorry, I didn't mean to embarrass you, but it would be just nice for all of us to see you guys. Okay, so the first one is Baseline Health, and they are a business development platform for the pharmaceutical industry. Baseline Health people, wave to us. Woo! All right. Hi, John. I see John. Okay, then we have eLab Accelerator, Claudius Legal Intelligence, legal platform using artificial intelligence and predictive analysis. Claudius people, wave to us. Woo! Okay, nice. They have some nice smiles there. Guys, everybody keep smiling, okay? I like smiles. It makes us all happy. Whether you're part of the Princeton teams or not, everybody gets to smile because it's a nice day. It's not that hot today. I haven't stepped out yet. Okay, next one is Reach, social media platform for underprivileged high school students. Hi, Miranda. Hi, Natasha, Laura. I don't see all of you guys, but hi. Then, oh my gosh, Crumpet Society, you made it so difficult for me, and I will tell you later why you made it difficult for me. It's a quick service restaurant. It's not just a quick service restaurant. They have these delicious bites, which are so awesome. I'll show you a picture later. That's why working on this presentation became so hard. Then we have Moname, which is a great solution. By the way, I have to say, all of you guys have done phenomenal jobs. I have been very impressed with the ventures and the ideas and the problems that you guys are solving in the world. It brings me back however many years, I'm not going to say decades, back to my schooling days and college days. And when I was living that kind of a life and pitching to investors and doing all these business plan competitions. All right, so Moname, a blockchain solution for last mile shipping issues in Africa. Great problem to solve. Then we have Kotami, clothing brand for thrifted and upcycled sustainable clothes. I think we covered everybody. Right. Okay, welcome everybody. Can everybody just give a big round of applause to our venture Students, this is how we do a big round of applause, a circle, we make a round. Woo! So proud of you guys. And the world is really your oyster. And all of us who are not at Princeton are so envious of you guys, right? Right, audience members? We are. And we're very excited for you guys too, because you have the whole world ahead of you. Excellent. All right. Now, since we're talking about the investors, there are a few important things that are important for us to remember. Now this is part of that audience understanding. Before you make that meeting with the investor or you pitch anywhere, and whether it's an investor or a client or a vendor or a business partner, I'm not going to repeat it every time, but just kind of put before you pitch or present to your dash entity or dash group of audience, you want to research them and see what are they all about. What do they like to invest in? What does your organization or your product actually, is it a fit in terms of their philosophy, in terms of their category? And maybe they already have somebody like you, very much like you, and maybe it doesn't make sense for you to invest. Maybe it makes sense because there are synergies. Maybe there is somebody like you, but not quite. Maybe there's a hole, right, that you guys can fill. So understand all of that. Perhaps we have our law firm people, Claudius Legal, you are going to pitch to somebody who invests in the legal and ethics market. And maybe somebody has not started thinking about AI, and maybe they're very old fashioned, but you come to them with AI. But again, through conversations, you will figure out if they are ready to invest in such a high-tech company. Maybe they are, maybe they are not. But it's all part of your preparation and your conversation and the research. Also, you want to proactively share information that they will ask. Again, you're going to do more research than the things that we even talk about. You don't want to hide anything, especially if they ask. I mean, there are always skeletons in the closet for every person and every organization, but we don't want to lie, we don't want to hide, we don't want to give any kind of inaccurate information, because if they do decide to invest in you guys, they don't want to be surprised, and that's just bad ethics. Yesterday I was talking to the chief ethics officer, former chief ethics officer at Airbnb, and again, the world is changing so much, it's getting so digital. Ethics are just kind of getting all mushed up and all diffused in different directions. So we just want to kind of hold on to that integrity and ethics. You want to be honest about, again, your product, your team, your market, your competition, any challenges. People want to know those things. And oh no, we're the best. There are no challenges. Oh, we have the best team. But what if somebody from your team, maybe like your chief technical officer, decided to leave? Yes, we've developed the product, but we just have a problem. I hope this doesn't happen to anybody, right? I hope it doesn't. But this just happened. Or our main client just left us. So you don't want to hide things like those if they ask, right? If they ask, or if they're going forward with you. The other thing you want to remember is connect. You want to connect with them both on emotional and rational side. What does that mean? And this is true for any kind of audience members you're talking to, not just investors. People have the right brain and the left brain. All of us are both emotional and rational. 50-50, some are a little more, a little less. You need data, you need to touch. So for the rational people, you need more data, more case studies. For the emotional people, you need to kind of talk about what are the aspects that actually connect with their heart. Anybody watch Shark Tank here? Right? A lot of times I see Mark Cuban, he's like, yeah, I don't see the business growing, but for some reason, it's all made in America, the product, and they have involved veterans, and his heart is just in it. And he's like, you know what? I just want to be a good Samaritan. I'm going to invest in it, even though he doesn't see business sense. So you never know where you're going to connect with your investor or your client or your vendor or whoever you're pitching to, or a mentor. All right. All right, so what are the investors actually looking for? The goal achieved? Yes, I mean, it's a business for them, right? So they're in it to make money, etc. But there are a lot of different things they're looking for. Product market fit. As entrepreneurs, we are going into a business because we think that it is a great product and it's fantastic. It's the best thing since sliced bread. But we want to show it to them that the product is not only amazing, it solves a great problem, but also there is a market fit. The market needs it, right? Your product could be really great, but there is no demand. Perhaps the customer doesn't even know that there is a problem like that. So there has to be a product market fit, which goes with geography, timing. Perhaps your product is great, but it's too early or too late. Perhaps it's, perhaps the technology is not developed and it's going to take 10 years to develop the technology. So I'm kind of sharing some of the ideas here. You want to share the uniqueness. Maybe there are a lot of other people out there doing similar things, but you want to share what is so special and unique about your product. So that's what they're looking for. Large enough market opportunity so they can make money. I mean, they're all in it for money, right? Revenue. So revenues, what kind of revenue flows do you have? They're in it for cash flow, and they're hopefully in it, most likely they're in it for an exit opportunity. Then they're also looking for, as I mentioned earlier, portfolio fit. So how does it how does it fit with the industry focus they have, or the tech focus they have, or the global focus that they have? Other companies they have in the portfolio, are there synergies there? How does it work out? They're looking for that too. So let's say that we have Kotami, which is our sustainable fashion company. And maybe they already have a sustainable fashion company, but they are doing kids fashion and you guys are doing adults fashion. Okay, so that's great synergies. Perhaps the supply chain can be lined up and it can be made more streamlined if the two of the companies are together. So they see those synergies. So that's going to be fantastic. They're going to be all over Kotami and we want to invest in you, right? Then they're looking for this team members. What are they looking for in the team and team members? They're looking for your experience. Experience might be very limited right now because again, you guys are just getting out of college, but they're looking for your hunger, right? Hunger to do well for this company, and also that desire and the proven path that I will do what it takes. Along those lines, if you had setbacks or failures, you really want to share those to tell them that yes, we had major problems, but this is how we overcame those, because we really, really believe in this business. We really believe in this philosophy. We really believe in the difference we can make in the industry. So that's really critical. If somebody comes in and they say, well, yeah, you know what, I'm still also looking for a job at McKinsey. Yeah, if this goes somewhere, it's gonna be great. Most people are not going to want to invest unless they're friends and family. You see what I'm saying? All right. Similar for, that's also similar for, there are a lot of new companies who are pitching to clients. And if the clients don't see that you're here for the long run, they may not want to work with you. So they want to see that kind of experience and hunger, do what it takes to satisfy the client needs and solve the client problems. That's what the clients are looking for also, for the established business people here. Now, these are the key components of a pitch. First of all, you're going to define the problem, and you're going to talk about how your business actually solves the problem. So for example, we have a pharma biz dev company called Baseline Talent, right? That's one of our ventures here. So the problem could be, they can say that, for normal tech companies, there is Zoom Info and TechCrunch, which kind of share all the important information about other companies. But in the pharma industry, there's nothing like that. Everything is so hidden, and it's so cumbersome to dig it out of the abyss of the cloud and Google and all that. You can't find it. And, there's so much money wasted in doing that. And a lot of collaborations and a lot of business development opportunities and a lot of great product is missed, and a lot of times companies have to spin the wheels over and over again because they didn't know something else was out there. This is a huge problem. We have spoken to about 20 or 100 pharma companies, and they all have facing this problem, and we are creating this platform to solve that problem, kind of like the TechCrunch for pharma companies. Here you can find information on all the pharma technology and pharma, products that are up and coming. So there was a huge problem, you shared it, and how you're solving it. Now you want to talk about competition, right? What's the competition out there? Don't try to say that there is no maybe once in a while there's no competition, but something else is being used as an alternate solution, right? So what is that alternate solution or competition, and why you have a better solution, and what is your unique selling proposition? So in terms of competition, for example, Maname does I hope I'm saying your name correctly. They do transportation in Africa, last mile logistics, right, and delivery. And well, they may say that there is no real competition. For the last 2 decades, there was nothing really. People were, you know, either not sending things, or it was just very slow and very expensive. But over the last couple of years, we have seen that this has been a problem, and a lot of other companies, like trucking companies, have got into it. But although they're doing it, it's not efficient. There is competition, but it's not efficient. We are using machine learning and AI to actually meet the supply with the demand and the transportation with the destination. And things, you know, deliveries that used to take 2 weeks now are getting delivered in 3 days, period. So that is our USP, unique selling proposition. Guys, I don't know exactly, I mean, but I think I'm close enough to what you guys are doing, right? Okay, so that's how you talk about competition. Market size, geography, growth, everybody wants, and we can always, oh, it's a $20 billion market, but you know what? Your investors can see through that. So be as realistic as possible. You wanna share that. What geography do you wanna focus on? What is the growth? Okay, 5% growing year over year, 20%, 15%, whatever it is. Target market. You want to talk about who is your target market, again, how big that is, and the client segments. And what is your business model? Business model, how will you generate revenues, right? What is the pricing structure? Okay, so for instance, for the for Maname, it takes, I don't know, $35 to ship a package that size, or for baseline talent, maybe it takes, you know, normally it would take you about, I don't know, to do that kind of research, it takes you annual subscription of $2,000, but we're working with monthly subscription of $19, and you have access to all that database, or part of it is freemium, so this much information you can get for freemium, and that's our business model. That's how we generate revenue. All right, other key components. Projected earnings. What are your revenues going to be? What are your costs going to be? What's your sales and marketing channels? How are you going to get customers? What's the cost of acquisition? Nobody talks about the cost of acquisition. Again, coming from, you know, from an entrepreneurial background and also a marketing and branding background, cost of acquisition is extremely important. A lot of people will say, well, we're so excited. Our sales are $200,000 in the last 6 months. But the cost of acquisition could have been, I don't know, $250,000, because it was so expensive to acquire every client. So always, as an investor, actually, you should ask the cost of acquisition. So please be ready with that kind of a number. Milestones, tractions, achievements, any kind of special timelines you want to share. You want to share all of that. Then you want to share your team and the board that you have. You know, why is your team stellar? You know, top notch. Why did you assemble a team like this? Because of the skills and the expertise and their passion, and they did an internship here, or they worked here, and their board member is the CFO of such and such company, or he's the ex-CEO of such and such company, or he's a professor at Princeton. So whatever is there that highlights, puts a lot of great spotlight on your team, highlight that. Then do not forget, a lot of pitches don't have this, they miss this part. You're asked, always have a call to action in the end. You're asking for funding, you're asking for mentorship, you're asking for introductions. I mean, for an investor, it's funding, but you could be pitching to other different people too. You're asking for, you know, them to be a board member. You're asking them to be a client and purchase your product. You're asking for a partnership. You're asking for something else. Whatever you're asking for, you know, lay it out there so that they know this is what you're asking for. All right, moving on. The elevator pitch. What is the elevator pitch? That's a bite-sized intro, which is super duper delicious, like these crumpets. These crumpets made it so difficult for me to prepare for this speech because they're so delicious. So what they are, so actually the company name is, I have it written here because it's a pretty interesting company name. Oh, where did that go? That's one of our investors here, right here. I mentioned them. Quick service restaurant. No, the Crumpet Society. It's very cool. You have to apply to get in. I'm just kidding. But they make these are they British little cupcake griddle cakes. So these are the crumpets. And that's what these, I put the picture of the crumpet because your elevator pitch, which is extremely important for everybody, not just for the entrepreneur who's pitching to the investors, and every person should have an elevator pitch. This is like a very delicious bite-sized little snippet of who you are or what you do, just to kind of pique their interest so that they kind of have this, try this little crumpet, and they want to try all the other flavors of it too. Basically, they're just, you want to open that gateway for them to inquire more about the amazing work that your organization or you do. That's your elevator pitch. Just like it has to be succinct, easy to understand. It's a sales pitch or opening the door pitch, 40 to 60 seconds max. And it's a gateway. And hopefully it has a call to action if it piques their interest. So basically the call to action could be, oh, if that interests you, could we set up a quick 20-minute meeting with you? Or if it interests you, would you like to learn more? Something like that, so that you are pitching it to somebody who's of importance to you as a client or a vendor or an investor, and you can talk to them about it and show them a lot more about that product or company, or just yourself. Maybe you want to get into another organization and want a new job. So the elevator pitch is going to pique their interest, as I mentioned. I'm going to share the problem, solution. This is a general format. Elevator pitches are not one size fits all, not at all. Even for you, it's not going to be one size fits all. So first things first, you're going to have slightly different elevator pitches for different people. You know why? Because the type of audience, even one or two or thousands of people that you're talking to in audience, they're going to have different needs. So your elevator pitch is going to be tailored to them. So maybe you will need 3 different elevator pitches. You'll need maybe 5 different elevator pitches. Maybe you're going to a party and you're meeting a friend, and maybe you have started a new thing, new product, new something, and you want to share that with different friends, or you meet a new person. So that's what the elevator pitch is about. You're going to talk about target market and client segments and market size. That's only for investors if it's important, but problem solution is definitely critical. Then major achievements. Oh, well, we have this high fashion company. No, sorry. We have this sustainable fashion company, Kotami. And, not only our product is very, very usable, but it's sustainable. We've used the best practices. It's all organic, and it feels so good and luxurious. Everything at a price point you can really, really afford. The products start from $19 up to $39. I'm making this up, literally. But the good news is we just got ourselves into H&M, or we just got ourselves into Macy's, or we just started selling into something else. We just opened up our Amazon shop. So that's your major achievement or milestone. Also excites them. Oh, wow, so they must be doing really well. They got into H&M, or they're in Zara, or they're somewhere else. So, and then what's in it for them? That's really, really important. So that's what's in it for them. I learned that at MIT, is a very important term. Every time you talk to your audience members, you're going to tailor everything related to them. How can I add value? What are they looking for? Is there a problem I can help them solve? What are their interests? And that's how you're going to tailor your speech or your elevator pitch based on your audience's needs. What's in it for them? Not what's in it for me. That will come. It will come later when you have your call to action. But first, it has to be what's in it for them. WIIFT. That's one of the most important things I will leave you with. All right. So far, just to review, what have we done? Quick review. We've done what investors are looking for. We've talked about the key components of an investor pitch. We've talked about an elevator pitch. An elevator pitch is for everybody. Everybody should have a couple of different versions of elevator pitches. Let's say you need to talk to your boss about a new idea and you need to influence them. You're going to start with an elevator pitch, right? You're not going to be saying that, well, there is this really great idea which needs about $20 million of investment. We got to do it. You think the boss is going to buy it? No, you're going to have an elevator pitch. There's a little problem that we're facing and our clients are doing this, and I have a great solution that I've been really pondering upon. Would you like to hear it? Yes, here is the solution. What do you think? It's good. Can we talk more about it? Okay, sure. That's your mini elevator pitch for that idea for the boss, for you to make an impact or an influence. So that's like for the boss people. If you're an entrepreneur, you can use that for your customers or other people within your organization. All right, key components of communication. Yeah. We're gonna move on from the elevator pitch going into communication and presentation outside of that realm. Any kind of presentation, public speaking, work presentation, class presentation, conversation, has two main points or three main points. First is the content part. We're going to talk about the content. I'll talk about the four main points. The content. Second is your delivery. The third is your mindset. And the fourth is you. Actually, delivery and you kind of go hand in hand. So I'll repeat. Any kind of presentation or communication has three main points. Audience being the fourth main point. The content or the message that you're going to share. Your mindset. The third one is your delivery. And the fourth one is you. All right. We're going to talk about content and storytelling. Like I said, content is going to be tailored based on your audience. Ooh, going too fast. All right. A lot of times we have a lot of information or not enough information to share. But we need to, this is like common sense, everybody knows this. What's the purpose of this slide? We need to have a structure to our presentation or even our conversation. Even if it's a 2-minute conversation, try to put it in a structure. Structure could be as simple as BBB, Bed, Bath, and Beyond. Sorry, not that. It means beginning, body, and bye-bye, conclusion. Okay, if everything is properly structured, your message is going to be conveyed in a very clear fashion. So the beginning has to have almost always a hook. And a hook is something what? Hooks grabs the attention of your audience, right? Could be a question. Well, how many of you guys are looking for, let's say, I'm very hungry, so I'm looking for some new types of desserts. Crumpets, all right. Or have you ever had a lawsuit or anybody, or do you know anybody who works at a law firm? And if you do, you know how tedious the entire process is. It takes hours and hours to search through the data. And if you are a lawyer or if you have been in a lawsuit, you know how long the lawyers take. And we all know how expensive they are. With all due respect to all the lawyers in the room here, I mean, you guys do amazing work, but all due respect, I mean, it is. But we have a great, would you like to find out how those high law costs, the lawsuit costs can be brought down? How a law firm's pricing structure can be made a little bit more streamlined? If you do, then here is the solution. And the solution lies with our friends, the Claudius Legal Group. Claudius Legal, that's what they go with, not the Claudius Legal Group. Claudius Group, what we did is we applied AI to a lot of those law documents that normally an associate goes through, and it's very manual, it's very tedious, and it takes them days and hours. And who gets billed? You, the client, in the end, right? So we have really streamlined it. We have, our team is all computer scientists, and we have created this amazing AI platform, which is going to expedite all this law research, right? So that's the hook. I mean, who doesn't want something cheaper and better? You can start with a story, a data. So again, that's like, then you talk about the problem solution. I actually put in the problem solution in a question format, and then I shared the solution right away. Then you want to go into the body, right? Body, and which is the middle, the main part, the main crux of your presentation. You can hear, if you are talking to the investor, if you're talking to a client, you want to share the details about what you're offering them. Well, we are presenting this offer to you or this product to you because point 1, point 2, point 3. 3 to 5 points are usually enough. And then you want to support them with data, with quotes, with research, with, again, stories, with anecdotes, with customer references, et cetera, so that you are actually backing up everything else that you're saying so that it resonates with your audience and they are all ears and they want to hear what you actually have to say, and they start kind of getting more inclined towards whatever your offer or product is. in the end, it's your buy-in conclusion. Summarize everything. Any lessons learned along the process you want to share, along the process, your journey as an entrepreneur or as a venture person, you want to share them. And don't forget, you want to have a call to action for your ask. That's really, really important, because if you don't have a call to action for any kind of meeting, it's a meeting wasted. And the call to action could be, again, in different scenarios. Would you invest? I would love for you to be my mentor. Or if it is at work, you know, can we set up another meeting to talk about it? Can we create a budget? Can we allocate a budget for something like this? So whatever is your call to action, can I have more resources? Can I have additional 2 people on my team to work on this? Things like those. Call to action, really, really important. Highlight it. All right. The other critical element of any kind of content is the storytelling, the human side. Stories, what they do is they really liven things up. They make the whole topic relatable. You know, we all come from different backgrounds, but stories usually help us understand one background to another. So you want to share stories maybe about the inspiration of your venture or the inspiration of your product. You want to share stories about maybe your background, success stories of your clients, maybe challenge stories, right? You had these major pitfalls and you overcome them. You want to share those stories. Or you can share case studies or best practices. Stories, a lot of times in the professional world, we think that, you know, it's not so professional to share stories, but stories just really draw your audience's attention, and they add so much more meaning and depth to any conversation that most of the times the audience members, if they remember anything from that conversation, it's the story is what they remember. I think I had another story example, but in the interest of time, I'm just gonna move on. So now we're gonna go to the nonverbal parts of a speech or a presentation, and that's part of the delivery. There's a lot of parts of a presentation which have to kind of all play in together for it to actually be an interactive, engaging presentation. All right, so here it is. Actually, I'm gonna go to the next page. Here, the speed at which you speak, the pace, the intonation, the pitch, the expression, the projection of your voice, the pause, the emphasis, all of these things are really important. There's actually going to be a quiz later on, so you should memorize all of this while they're here. And the quiz winners will get, Stephanie has the prize. I don't know what they will get. A $5 Amazon gift card. Woo-hoo. No, just kidding. All right, all the people who weren't rapping. All right, Miranda is taking it very seriously. I like it. Stephanie, the gift card should go to Miranda. All right, guys, I did not expect you to memorize it. But if you did, great, let me know. I will send the $5 gift card. Here are the simple packages I have created for you that you can take with you and use it almost at all times. All of the things are very important, but it's just too much to start incorporating everything in your speech right away. You know, speaking well and giving a great presentation is kind of like skiing. And you can't just start on the black slopes and try to balance and the sticks and the skis, and all you can do is fall. So you want to like go itty bitty. So anytime you're having a conversation or presentation with anybody, you just want to come, you want to bring your C. C, as you see, it's very simple. You already have it. Nature has been very grateful to you to give it to you for free, right? And it's my gift from me to you, just as a reminder. The reminder is my gift. But there's another gift in the end. Don't forget, that's actually a gift. Smile. You're going to always smile. Start with a conversation with a smile. You're meeting and greeting with somebody. Anybody. People of importance, people of no importance. You're being an audience member to Jyoti or to anybody, you always smile. Smile, 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 smile. I'm going to check everybody's smiles because that's really important. Smile really helps you make that connection with your audience. It diffuses any kind of tension. It also releases any kind of nervous energy you have as a presenter. You have an important conversation with the boss or with another team member, start with a smile. It will do wonders. You have an important conversation with somebody at home or a friend you had a fight with, start with a smile. Eye contact. A lot of us, we try not to make eye contact because we're uncomfortable, right? So start practicing that eye contact. When you're on Zoom, this is how you make eye contact. You look in the camera's eye, like the little camera on your on your screen, that's where you look to make eye contact. I'll just show it to you. This is when I'm looking on in my camera's eye, on my camera's little hole to look at you. And this is when I'm looking toward the side when I'm looking at your pictures. You see the difference, what it looks like. I'm looking at the camera. It looks like I'm making eye contact. But now I'm looking at you to actually make eye contact. That's the difference, just so that you know. Energy is really important. You have to bring the highest level of energy. A lot of us kind of leave the energy at home because we're always tired. We leave it at home. Not a good idea. A low energy presentation or conversation just leaves a bad taste in the mouth. It does not build that rapport. You want to bring your highest level of energy because they want to see the excitement. They want to see the enthusiasm for your product or your venture or just whatever your idea is. People who come with low energy don't come across as very friendly either. So all of these three things make you friendly, make you amicable, or at least be perceived as that. And when you are friendly and amicable and excited about your offering or your idea, people are going to do what? They're going to listen to you more, they're going to relate to you more, and they're going to resonate more with you. All right, the other one is save. You want to bring this with you. This is also important. Save, it will always save you. First one is speed. If you want to kill a presentation, you should go at a fast speed, super fast, or super slow, right? You want to, that's actually a killer of a presentation. So you want to go at a moderate pace so that the audience members understand what you're talking about. Because a lot of times what you are going to say is something new for them, but you don't want to go too slow either because you're going to lose them. Second is gestures. A lot of times we're so nervous. We try to do that to our arms or in the back or in our pocket. Just not a good way to have conversation because we don't have conversation just with our mouth. We have conversation with our entire selves, right? So bring your gestures with you. An easy way to have your gestures, I'm going to stand up, is to kind of leave your hands kind of loose. Start here. Start a little loosely, just here, so that your hands are free to have gestures. A lot of us will hold it like this and they're tight and then we forget to I can't let go of my hands to make gestures. Yeah, but this works like a charm. Just kind of leave them at your waist slightly loosely and then, yeah. But don't leave them here because they're going to be flippy floppy and then you're going to distract them. Voice. Your voice has to do the modulation, the intonation, your pitch, up and down, soft. There's so much with the voice you have to do and you have to play around with this. I actually have a full-fledged course where I train and teach all of these things, but in the interest of time, I'm going to give you this little synopsis package of SAVE. Expression. Oh my gosh, this is so important. This is how most of us speak. And my venture, I'm very excited about it because we have really nailed the problem and we have created an amazing solution in the logistics industry, and we're going to be able to deliver your package. Guys, I'm not saying you talk like that, but a lot of us tend to talk like that. There's no excitement, no expression, right? Expression comes for 6 different ways. Your voice, your eyes, your face, your gestures, the choice of your words, how descriptive your words are, and your body. Your body. I am so excited. My body moves forward. And it could get tensed up if you are showing anger or shock. It could be different body feeling or gestures. So expression comes in 6 ways, and it's very, very critical. All right, going on to video tips. We're getting a little over time. I'm going to quickly go talk about video tips because we are all on videos now, and how do we create a little bit more oomph and engagement on videos, and a couple of different tips that you could use right away. So one of the things is you want to elevate your video, your laptop with a few books. These are way too many books. I have about a 2-inch thick book under my laptop so that I am eye level with my camera. If I elevate it down, I would be like talking like this, and this is what you would see. See the difference? So if you elevate your laptop like that, or your iPad, whatever you're using, that would be really helpful. Have a lighting. You can get a ring light like this from Amazon. I have one ring light on this end, and then I have a desk lamp. So I have 2 lights, and then I have some windows in the room, and then I have the room's light on. So depending upon the time of the day, you want to have the right lighting because you want to make sure that your face is not dark. Make sure that nobody else is video streaming. So I have 6 people in my house. I had to tell everybody I am doing this presentation for Princeton. Nobody else get on video on their phones or on their laptops or cameras, laptops or their computers. So you want to make sure that nobody else is video streaming or bandwidth, using up the bandwidth at the time of an important presentation that you have to do. You want to turn off annotate for a lot of other people, because sometimes this has happened to me, like audience members will write like not the most appropriate things, and you want to turn off annotation for your audience. You want to reboot your computer right before you get on video, something important conversation like this. You want to test out your microphone. There is a thing on Zoom which says optimize my look. If you go into the video part and you go into video settings, you can get your look optimized, and it just kind of makes you look slightly nicer. You can add your background. Stephanie has that amazing background. I have never gotten the background thing working for myself, but you guys can add different backgrounds. I know Angela has a nice background. Angelo has a nice background. I see that. All right. Now, how do you engage people on Zoom? It's very challenging because you're not live. You don't see them. They don't see you really live. So it's challenging. First and foremost, you have to bring 2x to 3x the time of energy that you would have normally used. Also, secondly, you want to imagine, you want to know your audience, but sometimes it's also helpful if you imagine that you're speaking to one type of audience persona. And the best persona to think of is like a good friend of yours or somebody that you are really comfortable with. I normally don't do this, but I've heard some other people doing this. I usually talk to all the audience at the same time. And I know I have a very wide variety of audience at most times. The reason why I talk to different audience because everybody's engagement level is different. And that's why I like to do that. Smile. If you remember one thing from this presentation, smile and what's in it for them. It's so important. Smile, 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 smile. Practice, practice, practice. Practice your smiles, everybody. Bring your personality. Don't be overly formal. Don't be just too, tightened up. I know it's an important presentation. It's an important pitch, but they've had so many presentations like these. They're probably bored out of their mind. So bring your personality, bring your stories, bring your energy to really connect with your audience members, whether it's on Zoom or it's live in person. You can add relevant jokes and stories. Some of us are naturally humorous, and please do that. Some of us are not. And if you want to add a joke or a cartoon or something, feel free to do so. I wanted to add a joke, but I couldn't find a cartoon or a joke. So I'm like, it's fine. I'm not going to do it because I'd much rather put the content here. But if you want to do it, you're welcome to do it. Ask people to have their cameras on, because then you can interact with them because you can see their faces. When people don't have cameras on, it's a little bit harder, but then that's in a scenario you have to kind of imagine 1 or 2 personas and you have to talk to them. Ask questions. I didn't ask you that many questions today, unfortunately. Normally I ask a lot more questions, but I just had so much content that I needed to cover, so I didn't ask you that many questions. But I did put a few of you on the spot, so sorry about that. It was intentional. Just kidding. All right. Ask them for wave or thumbs up. If you're asking a question, and ask them to do different things, right? So that they feel a little bit engaged, right? Call people by their names and just kind of engage with them. Peter, good job. Water. 8 glasses. That's what we're all doing today. All right. And then you can have polls, you can have chat, you can have Q&A, and you can have breakout sessions. We're going to have a breakout session after this, but that's just for the Princeton students. But you can have certain polls and chats where people can interact. Again, this is a slightly bigger group, but those are also engaging things to do. All right, now here's the time you have all been waiting for maybe. I have 2 free gifts for you. 2 gifts. A gift is always free. 2 gifts for you. I have a free course to speak with confidence. If you are interested in that, just take a snapshot of this and you can enroll in the course here. It's a lot of great tips and strategies you can start using right away to kind of boost that confidence in any of your presentations or conversations. So you can take a picture of that screen or a screenshot. And maybe everybody done? Can I move on? All right, good. Then the other one is this. You have for a limited time, you have a 20-minute free coaching call with me. So you can just send me an email, and I'll then send you my Calendly link, and you can set up a coaching call with me. And that's for a very limited time. Maybe like if you get back to me today, I'll set something up with you, just as a way to help the community and help you guys. And that's my email. You can just email me. All right. So, how are you guys doing? Look at this fun guy jumping out of the bushes or jumping up in the air, whatever he's doing. I just thought he was really funny, so I had to take it, and I love the yellow background. So I want to ask you to write in the chat box below what jumped out at you in this whole entire conversation, and what are you going to start using right away in your presentations, in your communication, and in your speeches. So we're going to go down into the chat and take a look there. This is how you can get in touch with me while you are putting things in chat.
So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Also, if you would like to become a confident, articulate, and engaging speaker, please do check out our free course on speaking with confidence for maximum influence. The link to the course is in the details below.